You're tuned into Mom E Moments podcast, where motherhood, business, and relationship is one. I'm your host, Elisa. Thanks for tuning into Mom E Moments podcast.
Okay.
All right. Welcome to Mom E Moments podcast. We are kicking off another interview for our Celebrating Black Women for Women's History Month. I'm so excited. Woo-hoo. We have Lakita on today, who is a mom, an entrepreneur. She just does so much. She's like a queen of trades. You know, they normally say king of, is it what, king of trades, jack of trades, whatever. But we queens over here, so that's what she is. So Lakita, can you tell us about who you are, what you doing, why you just the bomb?
Awesome. I can do that. So thank you for the introduction yourself. So I'm Ketta. I go by Ketta. And I actually do a lot of different things. Like you said, I'm a mom. I'm a mom first. I have a 17-year-old, an 11-year-old, and a 10-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
I just said that all wrong. I'm sorry. I have a 9-year-old and a 10-year-old and a 17-year-old. I'm looking forward to them getting older, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But I am a creative person. I can't really put a label on it. I usually say I'm a crafter,
Mm-hmm.
but I go by Crafty Ketta for my crafts. I make shirts. I do cups, tumblers. I do all types of stuff when it comes to crafting. I just started puzzles and air fresheners and all of that. But
air fresheners.
Yes, air fresheners, you know, like the trees that you put in your car.
Right.
So I make different shapes and different fragrances and putting pictures and logos and all of that on there.
Oh, I got it. Oh, that's interesting. I like that.
That's sublimation. So I do sublimation now.
Okay.
So I'm doing a lot. I mean, I'm doing a whole lot. I cook. I love sharing my recipes and cooking with my kids. I love helping people. That's another thing. I'm always sitting here talking to somebody, talking through problems, just getting through stuff. So I do a whole lot. Like, I'm the person that everybody call in the family and my friends. When something's going on, they need some help. I throw parties. I pretty much organize, you know, my life and other people's lives too. That's what I do.
So are you a full 100% entrepreneur, or are you currently a working mom as well?
So I actually have a full-time job. I work for DC government. So I actually work with homeless services, like the homeless prevention services. And I love doing that. I love helping people again. I've been in the human services field for 12 years now. I've worked in group homes with people who had dual diagnosis, also addictions to alcohol and drugs. I also worked with people who had intellectual disabilities, mental illnesses, developmental disabilities. For a period of time, I was supervising. That was a whole lot of work. It was like a burnout job.
Yeah, supervising.
But then I transferred. I ended up going to Maryland State Government, working for foster care, working with CPS. So I did that for a little bit. I love my teenagers because I was the independent living coordinator for them. I love working with the youth. And now, like I said, I'm in DC government now. So I work a full-time job right now. Luckily, I'm still working from home. But it's going good. And then I do the business, the entrepreneurial business as well. And I'm a mother. And a wife.
Yes, mother and wife. Okay.
Yes.
So how would you describe yourself as a mom? I know as a woman you like helping people, you do a lot, so you touched on that, but how would you describe yourself as a mom?
I would describe myself as one of those fun moms. Like, before the pandemic, I was the mom to take my kids to parties at least 3 times a month. Like, we were at somebody's birthday party, we were at somebody's housewarming or something. Like, we always did activities. And even when there wasn't a party, I was taking them to, like, Pump It Up or Sky Zone or Chuck E. Cheese, like something fun. So I'm one of those moms that's like hands-on. I'm always trying to keep my kids busy, trying to, keep them going, keep them in a positive light or a positive mindset. But I'm also a structured and an organized mom too. So my kids know certain hours of the day I expect this. Like, kids got chores. They usually do. Like my kids do the kitchen every day. They have to do it and have it done by like 5 o'clock. Because after 5 o'clock, when I'm finished with work and I come downstairs, I expect everything to be clear. Just like if you was getting off from work and you come home, you want your house clean.
Right.
So that's pretty much like I make sure things are structured. We do this thing called Fun Fridays. So they know every Friday they have something to look forward to. Whether it's cooking a meal, like cooking a snack or something like that, or doing an activity. So I don't know. I try to be a fun mom. I don't want to be like one of those, mean moms or like always putting your kids on punishment for the littlest stuff. Like we kind of talk through stuff. We walk, I believe in kids giving me their opinion, as long as it's respectful, they can talk, they can speak for themselves.
Right.
And I teach them to do that with everybody. Like you need to speak up. Don't, hush your voice or anything like that. So I'm that kind of mom. Like I'm the inspirational, motivating, fun mom.
Right. I just started with my oldest. My kids are not as old as yours. I feel like every 2 years I'm starting over, but I love, being a mom and a big family. And I just started with my 10-year-old with chores, especially since he want to keep asking me for V-Bucks and everything for the PlayStation. So he definitely has chores that, we have started implementing and making sure that he follows through with them. But Fun Friday, I feel like my 5-year-old feels like every Friday or Wednesday or any day that he says should be a fun day. Lord have mercy. Oh my goodness. But that he seemed like a cool mom. So when they get older and their friends start coming over and stuff, they gonna always be like, oh my gosh, I love your mom. That's how my mom was when we were younger. And I'm like, why? Like she's annoying. But of course us kids always think that about our parents. Yeah. So how do you balance being a mom and a entrepreneur and working full time?
Balance comes in when it comes to scheduling. So like I said before, I was a supervisor for some time. So like scheduling meetings and appointments and things like that, I ended up just getting a planner at one point. And since then, I just make sure I have a planner every year, like every single year, because I use my planner daily. I literally put work stuff, family stuff, like friend stuff. I put everything in a calendar. I make sure I allot time for the children, like for, their activities and things like that. Like if we don't have anything planned, I make sure I plan something every week for them to look forward to. So that's where my balance comes in. Even with my husband, like we plan certain things, like it may be just watching a movie. Like I got to put the time in to watch a movie, make sure I'm not doing like entrepreneurial stuff like business. Cause sometimes I'll get up at like 10 o'clock at night. I'm like, I just want to work on something, like start crafting. So I just got to literally put stuff on my planner so that I'm not messing up the times, with everybody else. And just having a lot of time, like even in my house, we have a cooking schedule. My son cooks on Fridays, my daughter cooks on Thursdays, and I cook, I don't cook on Mondays. I cook Tuesday. She cooks, we have a leftover day Wednesday. She cooks Thursdays. He cooks Friday. Saturday, I may cook something slight, or we may eat out. We don't eat out often, but we may eat something out. Sundays, I cook a big meal, so we have leftovers Monday. So literally,
I have like a cooking menu.
You said what?
I need to come to your house because I'm not cooking that much.
Oh no, I love home cooked meals. I'm not big on like going out to restaurants because I just never liked the food that great. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm one of those people. I love the taste of food. I love savory food. Like I'm just big. I love taste. I love tasting different stuff, new recipes. So it's like when I see something, I'm like, ooh, I want to make that. Instead of like going to a restaurant and I'm like, this don't even taste good. I'm the biggest complainer if you take me out. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh God.
I'm the biggest person to complain. I don't like the food. I'm not gonna eat it. So my favorite restaurants are seafood restaurants or like Mexican restaurants because you can't go wrong with seafood in my opinion. Like most times I know what I want. Just give me that. When I go out of the country, it's crazy because I bring hot sauce, I bring garlic powder, Old Bay. Like literally, I bring all of that stuff because I'm big on my food. It gotta taste good.
Oh my goodness.
But balance, the whole balance thing, I think, again, like with work, I work specific hours, but when I have breaks, like in between customers, like talking to my clients and stuff, I literally like may do something for my business when I have little breaks and stuff. Or I make my own schedule for work. Sometimes we may have a meeting that I didn't schedule, but I have to, you know, be in it. But most times, like, I make my own schedule, and I pretty much can flex how I want to. I just make sure I get all of my notes in and all my work done, and then I work on my business stuff. And then I also have, like, my husband, he helps, you know, here and there with the business. If it's something I need, like, dropped off at the post office, I can send it, you know, he can do that. Or the kids, you know, if I need them to cut some stuff out or something like that, they'll help out as well. So I've been teaching them, like, again, like a lot of stuff around the house. So they do their own laundry, they clean their own bathrooms, they do their own, you know, they clean their own room, they make sure the kitchen is clean. The living room is pretty much their sanctuary, so they clean that up as well. So I have the balance with the family itself, so they know if they do more, then I have more time with them.
Well, that's good. My kids, 10, 5, and 2. So you can only imagine between my 5 and 2-year-old what my house looked like, and what, oh my gosh. And my living room and my basement is their sanctuary, and I'm trying to figure out why. Like, y'all gotta choose one. But my 10-year-old is in the basement playing video games, so the 2-year-old want to watch cartoons, and the 5-year-old want to watch Netflix. But I'm like, you also have a TV in your room, but that's too far from everybody. So it's a hot mess sometimes, until, you know, I gotta put my foot down and be like, okay, with the whole balancing. I get that question a lot too, like, how do you balance? I'm like, I don't know how I balance. Like, I literally just tweeted the other day about my son. He baseball, like, Sunday that's coming up. He has 2 games. So now I'm about to be back baseball mom, when I feel like I just left from being baseball mom the other day. And now we back at it, and then we just signed the 5-year-old up for baseball. So I'm like, yeah, it's about to be crazy.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
Oh my gosh. It's going to be crazy. And then when the 2-year-old get older, and then if we have, you know, more kids and stuff. But low key, I secretly love stuff like this, because I always wanted to be that mom. But also being that mom sometimes is it can be a little hectic. It can be a little hectic.
It can be.
But it's also about support, and it sounds like you have bomb support, in your household with your husband and the kids, knowing that, you know, mommy got her regular job, and then she got her business that she's building up for us to take over or learn different skills. I know when I was younger, my mom is big on, she was arts and craft. She was always like you, helping somebody. I promise you. I'm like, Ma, why this person gotta stay at our house? Like, she'd be like, they can live here for a while. Elisa, they just need, and I'm just like, no, they don't. And it's funny, because as I got older, I'm gonna say within the last 2 years, I became my mom. Like, she has her license to, you know, nail tech and hair. I don't have my license for nail tech, but I taught myself how to do nails. So I have all this stuff, all this arts and craft that I do as well. I ain't get as advanced as you. I'm gonna get there one day, but I'm still with my Cricut and stuff. And everything. And I actually just created a Mom E planner for moms to have the kids' schedules, our regular schedule, trip, girl time, whatever. And I'm like, yo, I am becoming my mother, because this is the stuff that she used to do, and it used to annoy me. Like, she used to be like, help me with this, and I didn't understand why, but now I find myself doing it, and then my friends will call and be like, okay, I need your help with this, or I can do that, and I'm like, yo, I am my mother. It's annoying. But it's funny how when we are younger, we don't appreciate it a little bit, because, you know, we're young, we're kids, we don't got time for that. But now that we are older, it's like, oh, okay.
I get it.
Yeah, I get it. Like, okay, we about to do this. So what are your current work and mommy goals?
So work goals, So working, look, I'm trying to figure out, the working part, my goal is just to continue to get perfect on all of my audits at work. That's my goal, just to continue to do that.
Gosh, yes.
I do have a goal to finish my master's, honestly. Like, I want to finish my master's for counseling.
Yes.
And to do therapy. That's something I really want to do, but I'm not there yet. I was waiting until the girls become, older teenagers where, they don't want me to be around as much, and I can kind of fill the gap, the time with them with school. So that's something I wanted to do. But goals like, as a mom, I would say I just have goals to make sure they all do something they want to do. Like, because I don't want to put any of my, wants or beliefs. I live my life to the fullest is how I look at it. Like, I enjoy life, pick what I wanted to do. Like, I always had the mind of, I'm going to do what I want to do. I don't really care what my mom and my dad want me to do. It was more so, y'all had y'all turn to live. Like, y'all did what y'all wanted. Let me do what I want. So I want to do the same for them. I just want to be able to push them and make them as successful as possible, make them better than me. But they don't have to work as hard. They can, get there earlier. But that's pretty much it, and continue to be able to enjoy, going on trips. I do have a goal to make sure every year we go on at least one trip with the kids, like a full trip. I have a goal for myself to go on a trip, just my girlfriends, a goal to go with my husband, just me and him, so that's one of my goals, like 3 trips a year, and specifically like that.
Okay, that would be cool. That's what me and every time I say my husband, because I know because we went to college together, but it's just like, who would have thought? But we're trying to do that, like make sure we have time for each other, make sure we have time for the kids. And what I like to do is, because I have 3 small kids, is have that group time with them, but also that individual time as well, especially my oldest, because between him, he's 10, but he'll be 11 soon. So they're about 5.5 years apart. But the 5 and the 2-year-old are very, closer in age. So by him being just the oldest in that gap, just reminding him, like, mommy still loves you. You my number one. You were here with me in the trenches. So,
yes.
Just having that mommy goes and making sure that, I just want to make sure you feel love, especially during these times with growing up. So how would you say the current pandemic shaped your work and being a mom?
So with work, I can't complain at all. It definitely did me a favor. I actually work from home, so I have to do like home visits and everything. Usually I would have to go to customers' houses, like the clients' houses, and do like home visits and stuff like that. But I actually do them virtually. Okay. So I have more time in my day where I don't have to drive. I'm saving money for gas. And then I'm here to actually be able to look in on my kids at school every day. Like if the teacher has an issue, or if the kids have an issue with connection or something like that, I'm here to resolve issues. So that definitely was, a major thing, like me being able to work from home. But with business also, like I said, I could just fill in gaps. Like whenever I have a time, a moment away from doing some work, like I finished the meeting maybe an hour early, I have an hour to work on some entrepreneurial things. Right. When it comes to the structure, like I like this structure way better, being able to be accessible to my children. Like my children get up early in the morning and make me breakfast. Like,
see?
So literally it's like the little stuff like that. Like it has changed, a lot of things. Because usually I would be at Chick-fil-A in the morning going to get some chicken biscuits or something, or at Tropical Smoothie getting me a smoothie and a flatbread. Like literally. Yeah. It has changed, my life itself. We're a lot healthier. We're able to cook more. It has allowed us more family time. And then because we can't go certain places, you can't do the wild thing. We haven't been out to eat all together. We have not, done too much outside of the house. So it just allows us to clean up the house, reorganize the house.
Oh my gosh.
Figure out more stuff to do in the house. Like we've had 100 photo shoots been in the house, and I don't know how, but we have. just
Mm-hmm.
doing different stuff. It's just, I don't know. I like the pandemic effects of the pandemic. Like, I don't like that, everybody got sick
Right.
and all
Mm-hmm.
of that. But I do like the fact that it brought us closer together. Like, my husband and I have been able to spend more time together. My,
Mm-hmm.
son and my daughters, like, they all have been able to spend more time together because they're home all day.
Mm-hmm.
And it just gives us more ideas, like more creative juices flow. Like, we have like little meetings in our house talking about stuff that we want to do and stuff like that. So we have the time to do it.
Mm. That's really good. So what are you going to do when things start to migrate back to school or back to, okay, y'all got to come to the office?
Well, the good thing is when I spoke to my supervisor, we won't fully be back at the office ever.
Oh,
He's
wow.
saying that they're talking about maybe twice a week.
Uh-huh.
We would have to come in, which would still be perfect for me because I could knock out, all my home visits there, the 2 days a week. And
Right.
then the time I can be home as well. I'm not excited for the kids to go back to school because honestly, like, the kids have been doing way better in school being home. I know a lot of people say the opposite, but like my youngest, she has been struggling with reading for so long. She has like a directional disorder where she sees stuff backwards, letters flipped, and stuff like that. Her being home has given her the time to, slow down and take her time with trying to read. We started a thing called reading hours, so everybody gets like a 15-minute time where they have to read out loud to the family.
Oh,
And
that's
that
good.
has her score. Like, she was at her bench, like it's called Dibbles or something like that, like the benchmark, whatever. And she was like at a 21% in the beginning of the school year. By the end of the second quarter, she was at 86%.
Oh, that is awesome.
Yeah, so I'm like, I'm not excited for them to go back because she's getting everything she needs already. I love the teacher. And then my other daughter, the same thing. If it's something they need, like, my husband's good with math. I'm good with, I don't know, just trying to figure stuff out. But it's working, it's working. So I'm like, I don't want them to go back. They have not been sick this entire time. But I'll be prepared. I'll definitely be prepared because, again, like, I schedule stuff out. I feel like I haven't used my Instapot in so long because I'm home actually making meals. When before I would use them Instapots and be like, let me put this in here, or the slow cooker or something, let it cook all day. But I'll just get back to, what I know.
Yeah. That's good though. That is really good that your kids are doing awesome with being at home. Thankfully and gratefully my kids hasn't had major issues. We did have some bumps in the road. But nothing, compared to some other parents who really need their child in school to get that extra support.
Yeah.
But I do know my oldest, he's definitely like, I'm ready to go to school because he, misses his friends that he had at school. He's been at that same school since kindergarten. He's in fifth grade, so I get it.
Okay.
And then they don't live. He goes to a charter school, so they don't live in our area. So it's not like they can go outside or anything. So we'll see as the time go on. We shall see. We shall see. So, what advice would you give yourself as a mom and a businesswoman? And then, what advice would you give other women who are, the 9 to 5 moms who are working, but they have that itch to be creative, or they have that itch to kind of branch out and do something on their own, or, a mom of girls. 'Cause I'm a boy mom. What type of advice would you give?
So I would give myself advice, just to tell myself to slow down, because that's what I have to say sometimes. Just slow down. You're not rushed. Like, I'm one of those people. If I get an order today, I want to make sure it's done by next week. Like, slow down. It's going to be okay. They're going to be all right. Like, communicate and slow down. Take your time. If I'm tired, I still push myself harder. So I need to tell myself to just chill. Like, it's going to be okay. Because I have stuff so scheduled, even when I don't feel like it, I still do it.
Right.
And I need to take more time for myself, which I am learning to do. But take more time for yourself. It's okay. Don't feel guilty about, doing stuff for yourself, or buying stuff for yourself, or going, places by yourself. Like, it's okay. So that's one thing for me. For other people that want to actually get into, the business, or just getting side hustle or wanting to go to work or whatever. I just say take it one day at a time. Like, really, if it's something that you really want to do, take an hour a day and figure out how you can plan it. Just take an hour and just say, all right, this is what I need to do. This is how I can do it. Just figure out how you can, create whatever it is that you're trying to do. Say, for instance, you want to do nails. Like, what kind of classes can you take? For me, I do everything on YouTube. I learn all of my crafts from YouTube. So that's what I can say is, go on YouTube, look it up, figure out how you can do it. Don't be scared of not having the time, because you can always make time. Your kids go to bed at some time. Like, if they don't have a bedtime, give them a bedtime so you can get an hour by yourself. That's the biggest thing for me. Just make sure they have some structure so you can do what it is that you want to do for you and your family.
Right. That's, yeah. My kids do have a bedtime, so I'm not even gonna say they don't have a bedtime. But when they go to bed, I go to bed too, because they be wearing me out. Okay, so my hour time break be during the day. And even now, they still come ask me 500 questions, and I'm just like, I'm at work, but they at work with me too. So I'm like, oh, okay. So, but yeah, definitely find some time for yourself. And also, you have some products on Amazon, right?
Yes, I do. I actually have a journal on Amazon. So I actually was introduced to a friend of mine now. Her name is Marquita. She actually does journals. It taught a class it was like $50, and I was like, I can't beat that. Let me learn how to do these journals real quick. So yeah, I learned how to do the journals. I uploaded it and put it into the Amazon database, and it's actually selling. What is it? I think I get paid quarterly, so every quarter I get a check, and I don't have to do anything. Like, literally, my product is online. They actually produce it, meaning they make the journal the way I created it, and if somebody purchases it, it goes to it goes through Amazon, and then they just cut me my check. It's like a residual income.
Right. So tell me about your journal. The specifics, or is it just a regular journal? What you got some quotes in there?
So it's just it's a journal for to-do lists. So because I'm so organized and I'm all like, I literally write to-do lists all the time. I know a lot of people are digital now, but I'm one of those people where I carry and I gotta write it down.
Yeah, me too.
So I literally I created this journal for me because, like, I do my crafts, I do my business, but sometimes, like, okay, what should go first? And I make my little list in my journal, my to-do list journal, just to know, what I have going on for the day or what I have to do next. It's just something that you could pick up in the morning and be like, okay, let me write down my day for the day.
Right.
And that's pretty much it. You carry it with you so you don't forget nothing, because that's another thing. With me having so much going on, I could forget easily. But that's, I carry my journal and I carry my planner with me. Those are two things I don't leave without. So if anybody wanted to do list, you just go on to Amazon, click in Crafty Ketta, and then you'll see it'll come up to do list journal. And yeah, that's it.
That is something to have, because I'm looking at my desk now and I have like 500 little sticky notes of to-do lists. I'm using a envelope that some mail came in on the back, and I got a date and say to-do list. So that is definitely, and I'm one of them people who I like to write it down. It helps me remember as well. And it's some stuff that I do put in my digital calendar on my phone, but I feel like if I write it down, I know I'm going to remember it more, or I'm going to make sure that I tackle it and really get it done, what I'm supposed to be doing. So, do you have any questions for me? I just want to say I appreciate everything that you do. Of course, I follow you on social media. I see all your crafts, and I'm sending you all the positive vibes and wishing you well. And I just want to say thank you so much for coming on Mom E Moments podcast today to talk about your business, how you balancing, and hopefully it's a mom out here listening and say, you know what, if she can do it, I can do it, or this is what I needed to get some stuff done.
So I just want to say thank you for having me. And I just want to say is, if anybody needs, any insight or anything additional, like, they can hit me up, DM me on Instagram. My page is Crafty Ketta, spelled with a K, KRAFTY _ Ketta, KETTA _LLC. So if anybody want, any insight or how to start your business, or you just need to know how to schedule your things, like, I'm here. Like I said, I love helping people. I love looking out for our people, and that's just something I love to do. And I just thank you for giving me the opportunity on the show, on your podcast, just to be able to, help somebody else.
Yes, we all about Black women, moms, real life moms. Because sometimes I'm gonna keep it real. Some of these Instagram moms, you be like, they what? Like, no, this is every day what a woman and a mom goes through with their kids and balancing. And some days it's like, yo, don't talk to me. Some days it's like, okay, but that's what we're about over here. Yeah, it's real life mom with real life stories. So,
yeah, real life.
Yes. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Bye bye.